I'm Ralf Muller. I work for the Eclipse Foundation. I'm the Director of Business and Ecosystem Development in Europe. I've started working for Eclipse in 2005, and since then have helped to prosper Eclipse in the European countries. We got in touch with Airbus in 2005 or 2006. And at the time, I was pretty surprised actually that a conservative company like Airbus is considering open source, which was at the time not considered to be ready for large industries. However, Airbus, in the first meetings we had, explained to us very clearly what the advantages for them are to use open source. They could innovate openly. They were able to see at least a possibility to provide this technology for long-term support, so they needed to have their life cycle for the planes in sync with the life cycle of the software. So we learned a lot from Airbus, and when they started Topcased, we could see that there was a large technical team actually helping to develop all these artifacts, and it very, very quickly actually became very interesting also for the Eclipse Foundation or for the whole ecosystem of Eclipse. Now, after Topcased was finished in 2009, I think, they started a new project called Opees. Basically, one of the very interesting topics of Opees was one of the work packages that Airbus and the consortium around Airbus needed a future home, a future organization to continue to host the technology of Polarsys, later on called Polarsys, but the Topcased technology and all the technologies that they needed to build in the future, and that they needed to maintain, they needed to manage, they needed to host, they needed a technical infrastructure. And it turned out to all of us that, oh, by the way, Eclipse, at the Eclipse Foundation, has the right services. So we started a conversation with the then Opees consortium and tried to figure out what it would mean if Polarsys, or the new organization, would be integrated within the Eclipse Foundation. So after long conversations and many conversations that are partly still continuing on the technical level, we all decided that so the Opees consortium and the Eclipse Foundation, the board of the Eclipse Foundation, decided that we could host Polarsys in form of an industry working group in the Eclipse Foundation. So Polarsys becoming some sort of a consortium within the Eclipse consortia. I think it has many advantages. I think we will help the systems engineering industry by example to consider this idea also for other domains like automotive, which has actually already happened, like public transport and so on. So I think this might actually spur the idea of open source and of open collaboration between large software consumers in the future. So we believe that on one hand, Polarsys will get the environment that they need. The Eclipse Foundation will become the home of hopefully many of these consortia, and they will also start to share interesting technologies between these different domains, something we see already happen, and that is actually happening here today in Toulouse at this event, where we have people from automotive, where we have people from public transport, where we have people from aerospace from many countries across Europe, that all are sharing their experiences, and that they're all sharing their issues and solutions that they have. So I think that's a very interesting and wonderful start of hopefully a very long-term effort that will bring us back to Toulouse many times.